This is the Healey Brothers Show.
Welcome to Healey Brothers Show. We got a special day today because it's really important for the Stellantis brand and a turnaround. We got my brother Dylan Healey. Then we got our general manager Chris Valentoni of our Stellantis facility, which is a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. A lot of changes happening over there, and drastic changes, which I think we could all agree are needed.
Much needed.
People moving in, people moving out, executives. Tavares leaving. So I just want to start there. What do you think a major change was there, and how is that going to benefit the brand with John Elkann coming in?
Well, really going back when Tim Kuniskis, right, was CEO of Dodge for all these years, 30 years he was there. And, he was Hellcat everything, power, Hemi, everything everybody loved about Dodge. And, there was Carlos Tavares that had different visions, of what's going on in the world lately with the EV changes and everything. So with Tim leaving and now coming back and now a CEO of Ram, there's a lot of positive outlook on the future of what Stellantis is going to have. So they had their troubles, though. There's no doubt. Mm-hmm. The last couple of years were tough for Stellantis, and I think really the future is much brighter, especially with having Tim Kuniskis back. So.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, their big issues, what would you say? They try to become a luxury brand a little bit and they've raised prices. Was that the big issue? Was it product or – because when I look, I'm still a Jeep guy. I think the product's beautiful. You bought a Jeep, Dill. I mean, yeah. Do you want to touch on what you think there?
Yeah, so I did a lot of reading in articles, especially from people that were intercompany that talk about kind of the culture that happened at Stellantis. And you read a lot about – they brought in Carlos Tavares, who is notorious in the industry from the guy. He basically gets brought in to cut costs. And now they kind of had a double-edged sword, right? You're cutting costs. In the meantime, you're investing heavily in EV technology. And at the same time as that, you're raising your prices to not compete in the current market that you're in. So, you're cutting costs, so your product is falling in terms of quality, because that's kind of what goes hand in hand. You cut costs, quality kind of goes down. And then year after year, you're raising prices on these vehicles and releasing vehicles that are up to, upwards of $100,000. And when people think Jeep, they're not thinking $100,000 price point, right? They're thinking Grand Cherokees, Grand Cherokee L, Compass, regular Cherokee, Wrangler. They're thinking of all these things that aren't $100,000 Wagoneer. So sure. When it came to market fit, cost cutting, with raising your prices, it was really a double-edged sword for their Stellantis dealer. And then they had a business model where they did their best to basically reward you for taking their inventory that we knew wasn't moving. So it was
on the dealer side.
Right. When I say we, I mean dealers. So it was a very confusing manufacturer to deal with, and it kind of led to where they're at now, but
yeah, it was like awkward. I mean, they were trying to make the Wagoneer its own brand and make it a luxury vehicle. And to be honest, it's a beautiful vehicle, don't get me wrong, but they were trying to compare it to a Navigator. And at some points, they were more than a Navigator,
right? Which
is like the ultimate luxury SUV for a family. So I think that was a major issue in my eyes. And then
and to add on that, they when you think Jeep, you think American, right?
Icon.
They were American icon. They were trying to operate in a market that was pushing the prices of German cars. You think Audi, you think BMW, you think Mercedes. And that's not where they were. That's not.
Especially in America. Maybe in other parts of the world, but not in America.
Sure. Their bread and butter is, American vehicles, off-road, power for the American family. And they just found themselves kind of stuck in no man's land, competing with almost nobody at the price points they were asking for. So
they got away from the roots and did something that they're not about.
Right.
It's like with any company, it's just never good. So Chris, you want to give your take on that, where you think they lost their way?
No, totally. I think back to when, COVID was happening and we had no vehicles, right? I think we were down to 7 or 8 cars in our lot. And to the manufacturer, they loved the turn time. They loved however.
I mean, some days we're 0. I think we call and you figure something yourself.
That's why we did that car show years ago, if you remember, because you might as well fill it up with people.
Oh yeah, that was
and it was crazy because we had the room, and everybody's like, "Hey, we're gonna do it again." And in that 1 year, we went from 8 cars to they finally were able to make all these cars. And I believe, hate to say it, but a lot of corporate greed on Stellantis side, I think, got in the way. So they
high
had
prices, no inventory, and let's just keep it going, see what happens.
So, they went from not being able to build the cars because of the chips and all that stuff to going from that to increasing MSRPs so much and then flooding the dealers' lots without the support from the manufacturer.
Right.
So,
and when you say support, just elaborate on that a little bit.
You're selling vehicles that people have been leasing Grand Cherokees forever for, roughly within, $30 to $75 a month of what they've been leasing for the last couple of years. And all of a sudden, now their payments are doubled.
Right.
Because they've
or more.
Oftentimes it was more.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And they've increased MSRPs by way too much and not given the support, meaning rebates and discounts that they were given from years ago.
Right.
So when you increase that, and you lose that customer base and you lose that market share, which is a big thing that Stellantis has lost over the last couple of years, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Jeep and Ram were top 10, top 5 brand in the Northeast.
And it is so expensive to get that market share back. They have to do so much work and spend so many dollars to get that market share that they have the next couple of years. Hopefully they have an opportunity to regain it. And I think the leadership of Stellantis right now, especially like I always come back to Tim Kuniskis, having him back, I think, is going to help us move that needle. So.
Yeah, I think the one thing that they got away from is the heart and soul of America is the middle class, and they just like kind of almost not abandoned, but thought it was a stretch to the higher prices. And now I think they're refocused on it. The everyday American wants the Jeep, and that was like the dream. Like, is to get a Jeep. When I was a kid, I wanted a Jeep. Like, there's just a way, and I still have a Jeep.
Right.
I talk about it all the time. So
I mean, the Healeys love their moped. Get it.
Oh yeah, we love our power. That's
do.
for sure.
I love
And Till just got his girlfriend a new Jeep that you love, right? I mean, that's
great.
That's a beautiful Jeep.
But just going back for a second, so they have recognized that they've priced themselves out of. They want to be in this luxury pricing, which people don't think Jeep in luxury pricing. They're beautiful cars and they make beautiful vehicles, beautiful interiors.
Mm-hmm.
Great vehicles, great product.
But you can't be. We're not Mercedes-Benz. We're not BMW. We can't be up there with that pricing. So what they did was they have, for 2024 and 25, certain vehicles, Wagoneer especially, they've dropped the MSRPs of Wagoneers anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 because they know that they priced themselves out. So the same $78,000 Wagoneer last year is now a $73,000 car.
Right.
So they've recognized it. They've, I always say, like your father always says, your horses are the ones that you got to keep feeding the horses. Listen to the team, and they're going to tell you.
They're listening to the dealers, I think.
Right.
They're understanding. They're following the market.
That's what they need to do. Listen to us. We listen to the customers, and then Stellantis has to listen to their dealers because we're going to tell you what we need to do to get rid of the vehicles and sell the cars.
So now that we brought that up, let's switch to Stellantis' strategy shift. And obviously, we all know Toyota's famous for always listening to their dealers, and that's probably why they're a big reason why they're so successful. Granted, they have a great product. But I think this is where you're just touching on is Stellantis is finally listening. They're recognizing the market. The people that are in charge did a lot of great things for the company, and they're getting back to their roots. So let's follow that path of what they're doing. And I know they drop price in a Wagoneer and other vehicles, but what else are they doing to really change it?
So a big thing is, the iconic Hemi, right? They kind of got away from now Hemis on the new Rams and Chargers and Challengers. And people have complained. They like their iconic.
And a lot to do is like some of that's with government intervention and stuff like that with EVs. But
sure, but as Tim Kuniskis used to say when I met him years ago, Dodge is the neck tattoo of the car industry, which is my favorite line I've ever heard.
That's great.
Yeah. And we want to keep
that could be the name of the episode.
I know. And that to me is Dodge kind of did their own thing. If everybody else was doing one thing, they did the opposite, and I think they started following everybody else, and now there's talks of the Hemi coming back, possibly in the Ram again, and 8 cylinders possibly coming back in some other vehicle.
Oh, so you're saying the value of my car is going to go back down?
So no, I'm sure it'll stay nice and high. Don't worry. But they're listening. So all I can be thankful for is you want our opinions. I'll give the opinions, and now we're starting to see them listen to us, and that's really all I can ask for. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
But if we can start seeing the trajectory.
I mean, we are seeing better leases now, which is huge. We're in a big lease market, so it's.
Yeah, we were definitely seeing, the Grand Cherokees have came down, the Rams have came down, even Wranglers. So it's, they're listening to us, and we're finally, looking forward by Wrangler. We only have one left on the lot.
Right.
We had a ton of these. We have one left.
Wow.
So we're selling them. We're getting rid of them. And now another big thing is they're coming back out with the 6-cylinder in the Wranglers. So I don't know if you knew or not, but they got rid of that 3.6. They were only going to make 4-door Wranglers with the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder. But a lot of Jeep people,
4-cylinder, right?
4-cylinder, right?
Yeah.
The, true Jeep guys, they used to love their inline 4, right? The 4.0. So they don't want to go to the 2-liter turbo only. So now that they listened, and now they came back out and announced that they are going to do the 3.6 V6 in the 4 doors again.
They're bringing the bad boy fun again brands back.
That's what I'm
And
talking
America's gonna love it. I mean, you could just see with the Super Bowl, those commercials. They were the only manufacturer on it, but they really stood out to see. And you felt like the brand was back. Like you got the vision. Like the right people are in charge. They understand what America wants right now.
Sure.
Just with anything, and they're gonna give the consumer what they want.
Did you saw the Harrison Ford?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was a
We
great-
got to share that video too, Nikki. With part of this. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They knocked it out of the park with that.
Yeah. I mean, Harrison Ford's an American icon too. It's like perfect person to go for it.
Yeah, guys, I love
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah. Guy's a phenomenal actor.
Now on the other end though, I've driven the EV Scat Pack, the all-wheel drive 670 horsepower. That thing's an absolute animal. And the new Wagoneer S that's coming out, they put some incredible deals, for the public and for the dealership to be able to get rid of a lot of these things. So we got them coming in, and we plan on delivering a lot of these things. So
I mean, it's a good-looking car, and also that what was it, the EV, the Charger, right? That car in person looks way better than it does online.
100%.
I was shocked. I mean, you liked it. Dad
Yeah, I
even
thought it
liked
looked great. Yeah.
100%. They killed it with the looks of that car. And the interior's nice. It's
Right. It's a
I'm a
big
big
car.
guy, right?
Yeah.
I can get in. I'm comfortable.
Right.
So it's I think they knocked it out of the park with it.
Right. And you've already sold 2 of them, right?
We don't have any left on the lot.
Sold them?
We sold out.
Wow.
Both of them already. So we actually ordered more to come in, which is something you wouldn't think that I would.
Yeah, you were saying no, but
I know.
Yeah, Chris was like, we're not taking them.
I'm like, well, if we're selling them, people want them. And
Yeah.
the deal, they listen, they put the right deal on it. And
Well, actually, in person, when you actually see them and drive, I think it just shocked you. Like,
Totally.
what they were showing online, it looked drastically better in person.
100%.
I was like, I couldn't believe it was the same car when we had them sitting in our drive. Like, I was like awed by it.
And Jay, everybody said that. All the employees, all the customers, when they were coming off, we saw them. We're like, this is incredible. This car looks badass.
Right.
And then and it's still
And
EV,
the performance
but-
was great.
Oh my God! So I took it up and down 52, and it has that power boost, so you can load up this power boost shot. So when you hit full throttle, I mean, at 40 miles an hour, I punched it right on 52.
So it still's got the bad boy in
All
it.
4 wheels just lit up, and this thing took off.
That's awesome.
It was badass. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed.
All right, so people are gonna have to come check that out. How many more do we have coming in?
I think we have 4 or 5 Chargers.
And obviously, good leases and deals on them as
Yeah,
well.
they're by far the best deals in the country.
In the country. Right.
For the public right now, it's $289 a month for a Wagoneer S, and it's $72,000.
So that's just music to your ears. I mean, when the leasing numbers get good, that's how you know the brand is focused on it and moving the product and understands with the customer. Because, like I said, we're a huge leasing market. We're 50% some months, at least 30% of all our deals for all our brands is that
As a
Hyundai
company, yeah, it's around 30%. Yeah.
But yeah. So let's touch on Ram here. How is Ram going to jump back into that race? Because obviously F-150 is always a tank. Chevrolet Silverado really gained some market share, and it's a phenomenal product as well. How is Ram going to get back in the mix? What are they doing differently? Are they becoming aggressive with their leases again? I know we have the Hemi coming back and some other cool features, and it's a beautiful truck too. Great technology. What are they doing?
That's probably the hardest segment right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Full size trucks.
and I'm, I've had Rams. I've had I don't know how many.
And we're Ram too.
You guys,
Our younger brother live and die for a Ram.
Oh yeah, you're probably.
Yeah,
He loves
he would die for a Ram.
Cummins.
Totally.
Yeah.
But they came out with that new engine, right? The Hurricane engine, the 3.0 twin turbo. Everybody so far that has purchased the vehicle, that has gotten the 3.0 twin turbo Hurricane, absolutely loves it.
Really?
It hauls ass. It's faster than the Hemi. Now you lose that Hemi growl, right? That 8-cylinder growl. But this thing is quiet. It hauls ass. There's plenty of power, and so far, I don't think I've heard any complaints. So the good news is, people have been used to that V8 in the truck every now, for years, right? Ford got rid of the V8, right?
Yeah.
They're only in the twin turbo. So now that Ram did it, I think they got to keep getting more people to come in to be able to drive it and really fall in love with it, and they'll start selling more. Because they had a terrible year for Ram last year.
Well, yeah, they have to be aggressive with their pricing again a little bit.
They gotta, we have to be better than Silverado. We have to be better than F-150. You know, we can't be more and expect to sell just as much.
I mean, Ram could definitely do it. Was it 3 or 4 years ago? They're the number one truck in our area. So
Killed it. We killed it. So.
And I mean, I'm a Ram guy. Anything on the Ram? You're a Ram.
I love
guy,
the
we'll
Ram.
play.
You want to touch a little bit on the RHO?
Yeah, so we had 2 come in already, which we sold immediately. So the RHO, it's 540 horsepower, high output, twin turbo.
It's almost like a mini TRX, right?
It's
Yeah. How is that?
it's
Did
exactly.
you take it for a ride?
Oh yeah, of course I did.
It's got to know his product.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, it's an animal. Now, is it a TRX? The suspension, the tires. You look at it, the wide body. You look at it.
It looks identical.
It's identical.
Right.
Everything's the same except you have the high output twin turbo versus that Hellcat. Now you lose that Hellcat whine, which I think the TRX was 0 to 60 in 3.9, and this is 4.6. But it's $50,000 less. You know, TRX.
Oh, it's that? I didn't realize it was that much.
Yeah, it's a great price.
TRX is 125 grand for the last model.
Right.
This now you can get this for 72, 73 grand. So
Huh.
for 50 grand, I think people will go 0.7, 0 to 60,
Right,
and get the same type of vehicle. You know what I'm saying?
And do we have any available still, or?
So we have the 2 we had, we already sold. I think I have 3 on order right now that are available. So you know, they range anywhere.
Wow, what a price range on that!
Oh my God, it's incredible.
And the tech inside is phenomenal.
Top
Just
notch.
like through.
I mean, you can't listen. I know we have Chevy and we have Ford. I think the interior of these cars are night and day.
They definitely have the best screens. I'll definitely come up with that. They
Definitely
definitely have
the
best screens.
biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't.
Well, now there's 14-inch, so it's like, I mean, it's like this. How much bigger? It's gonna be like that TV screen. You know?
They actually just put that in there.
But yeah, we're super excited that they did a great job at it. I mean, the car, they knocked it out of the park with the RHO and the pricing.
Yeah, I think the color that you had too, that dark blue was sharp.
Yeah.
I loved it right away.
Oh yeah, nice car.
I was thinking about trading in the Jeep for it already.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
No, it was cool. It's a beautiful truck.
Yeah.
You like your Jeep, right?
Love my Jeep,
Jackie likes it.
but that truck is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie loves it.
You go through phases. You don't know what you want sometimes.
No,
Bronco, Jeep,
I'm
truck,
too-
all over the map.
I'm too exposed to it.
Yeah.
Well, you had the Bronco Raptor, right, for a while.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You traded in for the Jeep.
Yeah. I'm too exposed to all the brands too.
Yeah.
You know, not flipping in and out. It's like part of the luxury of doing it, right?
Yeah.
You were driving a Mitsubishi around. I'm looking.
I still drive a Mitsubishi. It's a commuter car. We do put a lot of miles in the car. He drives a Tucson.
There you go.
Hybrid.
He was. I mean.
Touch on everything.
That's right.
Yeah, my Trackhawk doesn't get many miles right now. It stays at home. I drive it around Goshen. Trying to keep it low. I think Dill was probably the last one to drive it.
That's something that they should come back out with. Come back out with the Viper.
The Viper would be
Come
insane.
back out with the Trackhawk. Oh my God.
The track.
They make another
even
track-
just an SRT.
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
Even just an SRT.
If they make another Trackhawk,
If they release that this year, I'll go nuts.
If there's a guy that can make it happen,
It's
he's
this
there.
guy.
He's there.
Right.
So
well, they're bringing the band back together. Those guys understand the future too. They understand they have to have the right mix of electric and what the consumer wants. But when you start switching too fast, you just discourage the consumer.
Right.
You're in business for the consumer. They're the number one priority.
Right.
Priority, and that's our number one priority. But if you don't give them what they want, they just go somewhere else to do it.
right, 100%.
It's the overbearing EPA.
Yeah.
It's these insane standards that they put on manufacturers that, you know, they get to a point where they're quite literally forced in a sense of profitability. You know, they have to sell enough EVs to counteract those V8s that they're selling with low gas mileage. It's just like their hands are they're tied.
And also, I mean, it doesn't help that administration changes like it could change every 4 years, and just like everything gets thrown out or comes back, or
Right.
there's got to be a healthy mix. They got to put something in there, but
Right. John Kerner had a great point. He goes, their cycles are 5 years.
5 to 7 years
5 to 7
for a new
years.
product launch.
Every 4 years, you're dealing with the new administration. It makes it very, very challenging.
Also, if the technology has to change for safety, like sometimes administration comes in and goes, "Hey, it has to be all the way this safety before hands-off driving kind of thing," and then these guys spend billions of dollars on it, and they're backtracking like,
I know.
I couldn't imagine being the manufacturer. I'll tell you that.
yeah, because not everyone's like Elon Musk either. So the guy that could switch like that, but
He's still getting credits.
yeah, he's still getting credits for Stellantis,
Right.
Probably.
He's also from Mars.
Yeah, he's that guy's a
He's from a different planet.
yeah. I've never seen anything like it.
Wild.
Well, is there anything else? I mean, exciting stuff for Stellantis. Pricing coming down, product phenomenal, bringing back rumors about other vehicles coming back. So
Strong
it's exciting,
leases. Yeah.
exciting times for us.
It felt like a year. It was
It was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was a tough year for everybody.
Right.
You know, myself in the store, service was cranking back there and doing a good job, but on the sales side, they finally seem to be listening. So as long as they can listen, we're your best customer. We have to listen to our customers. You listen to us.
Right.
And we'll do everything.
It's a team effort.
And we just kept thinking, month and month, we're like, this has to change.
Right.
This has to change.
And
all of a sudden it changes. And
we're just looking for some consistency.
Yep.
Be consistent. Let us know exactly what the future is going to hold, and we'll get there. But, it's when you start changing this
Mid-month,
for 2 months and now all of a sudden a complete opposite.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's such a good product too. That's why it's frustrating. They have such good brands under it, and
people
it's
want it. There's no doubt. People want them, but you can't price them out at the same time.
Yeah. And the best part is, like, now we have this big, beautiful service center too to take care of the customer. We built this because we believe in that brand.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, exciting stuff. Well, thanks, guys. You guys have anything else we want to touch on?
Very excited for 2025.
Yeah. Good.
I mean, we're off to a good start. I mean, we talked about it this morning, all of us. So with my dad.
Definitely excited. So it's always good sitting with you guys too. And
yeah, it's always fun to shoot the shit.
Yeah,
it's also more exciting now this time around because I think the last one we were talking about what Stellantis doing.
We're getting there. It's going the right direction, boys.
Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, hit that subscribe button, and follow us at Healey Brothers on all social platforms.